and then we decided to make fireworks. Wasn't a good idea. We didn't really know how bad of an idea it was. First one goes off, boom. Second one goes off. Kind of a premature explosion blows up the pipes and shrapnel flying everywhere. And just
Like a bottle rocket bomb, basically. Is that a good way to
sparkler
describe
bomb is how I'd say it.
it? Sparkler bomb?
Yeah, sparkler bomb. And it was just like mass chaos. And I don't know, Jaden, if you were there, right?
I was there. I was not out there, but I was like by the pool watching.
Yeah. What was it like? Because I don't like this is raw for me because everyone always asks me like what happened, but not very often have I just gotten to be like, hey, what was it like? Because I know like for me it's like, oh, boom, explosion, and my knee hurts, my ears are ringing. I feel my knee and I feel like the inside of my knee and I'm laying down on my back. But like, I'd love to hear from your point of view, like, what was that like?
Yeah. So you said it was late. It was pretty dark. We couldn't really see a ton from where we were at the pool. There's probably 5 guys out there with you or
probably something like that. Yeah.
And yeah, I saw the first one go off. I think the first one you guys did like horizontal. So it just shot horizontal. We were like, cool. Then yeah, you were going to do the second one. I don't know if you guys added some for the second one, didn't you?
Yeah, we may have. The pipe had shown signs of weakness.
Yeah, there was maybe a crack in the pipe, but we were all really far. There's probably, I don't know, maybe 10 of us watching from the pool. And yeah, we're just watching. You're all really close to the pipe. And yeah, obviously it exploded way faster than we thought it was. And a lot of smoke, a lot of silence for probably what felt like 5 to 10 seconds, but it was probably closer to 1 or 2 seconds. And the first thing I think I heard was you screaming for help. And it just like hearing that initial cry out, I just felt like my heart just dropped and I was almost in shock. Like I didn't know what to do, what the best step was. Like we've never been in a scenario where we've done something like that. And we all just kind of like looked at each other like, what are we going to do? And your parents came running out onto your patio upstairs and they were like asking what happened. I know Mia had gone out to look and saw, I guess, what you were in at that time, and the other guys came running back as well. But yeah, it was just a lot of chaos, a lot of not knowing what to do. I personally didn't go up and look. I didn't know what had happened or the extent. I was more so concerned with the people around me, seeing how they were, because obviously, yeah, like I said, I was in shock and I knew nothing I could do for you was going to impact like your healing at that time. Obviously your parents were there. They had called the hospital. You got airlifted to Rock Rapids. They'd parked the helicopter in your yard. And yeah, it was all what seemed like so long that you were there on the ground. I don't know how long it ended up being, but it was definitely chaos and once in a lifetime thing. Like it seems like I could picture it just yesterday, like what I was looking at and what happened, the details, especially the first 5 minutes. It just seems like it was so vivid in my memory. But yeah, you can probably take it from there. I'm not sure if you remember or how much you remember from it happening onto the airlift coming or to you going to Sioux Falls. But you can probably speak on that.
Yeah. And then getting airlifted, that all surreal moments. Quick, like crazy, like timing for all this is that I found the medical records just recently, and I like have the pictures, like of camera, like not X-rays, like pictures of the injuries, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like like there was, EMTs there, like bless their hearts, that they're like, they know them. These are like youth group leaders. These are like secondary mothers to me and they're like coming home and they're like, I don't know if he's ever going to walk again. And it's like, but going back to what I was talking about too, just about having that day, just have so much peace. when it happened, it was like, oh crap. Like there was pain, screaming. I screamed my knee, I screamed something. And I laid on my back, and then the pain didn't go away, but I knew, like, in the deepest levels of who I was, that, like, God had a plan. And it wasn't because, like, I'm this, like, faithful person. You know what I mean? No, it was because, like, it was so, like, there was so much just peace on my heart. I had almost no panic, you know, in a situation where I was, like, honestly wondering, like, yeah, I think I'm gonna live, but will I ever be able to walk? Like, will I ever be? And this is like coming from a kid who's like sports is everything. So it's just crazy, just the mercy that I was shown in that moment. And yeah, I get airlifted to the hospital, pretty much up all night running tests. I looked through the amount of tests they ran on me; it's insane. I mean, I wish I had more medical background to speak into it, but I can't. Yeah, and then the hospital stay, which was like, you ever seen a movie where everything's like white and it's like euphoric and they're like insane? The person's insane. That's what it almost felt
Yeah.
like. It felt like I was like trapped in a really bad dream, like a illusion because of the amount of painkillers I was on and all that. But the community sport was phenomenal. But one of the hardest things I ever had to do was try and learn. Like, I couldn't walk for a month and a half after, but that week in the hospital, I had to uh, get a walker and then get it on my feet just to be able to hold myself. My right leg, I'll quick talk about the injuries. The shrapnel from the blast had blown through my right and left legs, my right knee, my left kind of a little above the ankle. Right knee, I had shaved off pieces of the femur head, pieces of the kneecap, blown out the cartilage, torn the patella tendon, and then something about the knee capsule as well. Not 100% sure. And I knew there was, in the doctor's reports, there was bone fragments in the knee. And then the left ankle was pretty much just punched straight through the front, shattered tibia, almost a torn Achilles. Luckily, that stayed intact. And so they were able to surgically close and repair the right knee. The left ankle had to be left open, so there had to be a wound vac on. But I just remember waking up and being like, dude, there's tubes everywhere, and I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what the doctor's going to tell me. All these things, but I had the hospital stay learning how to like get back on my feet because I could put my weight on my right leg where I had the knee injury, but the left ankle where they had to put the rod and the screws in and had the wound vac, that could not be a load bearing thing. So I literally had to like balance on my right leg, and that was one of the hardest things